somebody's making money on it.
So that would be a good way to get the
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Welcome to Dialogues with Dan, heard on Rockland World Radio every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check out the archives, which are located on the programs page on the menu bar. Now, the host of Dialogues with Dan, Dan Windheim.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. This is Dan, and tonight we have a live guest. A pretty live guest.
But she's sort of live.
Yeah, she is alive. We're actually speaking about cancer and the Great American Smokeout. I'm pleased to introduce Denise Hogan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi,
Thanks
Denise.
for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Nice to see you.
Yes.
Again?
Again?
Yes. Maybe we could start by you, Denise, telling us about your experience with cancer and smoking.
Right. Well, November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. So we're pushing this because lung cancer is something that people don't want to talk about. They feel that anyone that gets lung cancer is going to die, and that's not the truth. There's some early detection, there's new medicines out, people are living, there's a lot more survivors. I was a smoker. I started smoking when the C stood for cool, and I just thought I was so cool. Excuse me?
Yes. I think that was something else.
And by the time they told me that it was bad for me, I was already addicted. So through the years, I tried to stop. For 5 years, 2 years, 6 months. Eventually, I stopped. And 11 years later, I got lung cancer.
Oh,
yeah.
Not good.
Not good. But I happened to work for the American Lung Association, so I was sort of at the right place at the right time.
Yes, so that was a coincidence.
Yeah, there are no
Really?
coincidences.
Oh,
See
yes.
that? Yeah.
And what did you do for them?
I-
And what are you doing?
I am the lead coordinator for Power Against Tobacco. We try to get smoke-free buildings, smoke-free parks, try to get the tobacco off the shelf, so that's not the first thing that the youth first thing they see when they walk in. We're not trying to get rid of tobacco because that's not in our realm, but definitely trying to protect our youth because that's who the tobacco companies are targeting. You rarely hear of someone in their 30s starting to smoke.
Right.
It's always a teenager, etc. So I had the lung cancer, and I had surgery at NYU. Wonderful doctor, Dr. Harvey Pass. He removed the upper lobe of my right lung, and then I went and had 3 months of chemotherapy. So it's been 4 years. I'm cancer-free, and I'm here to promote lung awareness.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome story. Yeah, I understand that, well, cancer, I did a little research. I understand that, well, cancer is carcinoma,
Yes.
a malignant tumor. But I also understand that 10 to 15% of people with cancer are non-smokers.
Absolutely. See, lung cancer is no longer the smoker's disease. You can get it from secondhand smoke. The environment in Rockland County's air quality got an F.
Oh,
So that contributes. Also radon, the chemical underbuildings,
yes.
and genetics. Granted, 85% of the people that have lung disease get it from tobacco.
Right.
But it doesn't just pick smokers, lung cancer. If you have lungs,
Yes.
you can have lung cancer.
That's right.
And lung cancer is the number one cancer killer in the United States. And it's the
Yes.
number one cancer killer of women, and only 1% of women even have lung cancer on their radar.
Yes.
Women think of breast cancer. They never think
That's
of lung
right.
cancer.
So tonight, we're solely dealing with lung cancer.
Yes.
Yeah, because there are many forms of cancer.
Absolutely.
But
But we
we're
just
focusing
right
lung cancer. Yes.
And since the American Lung Association has started Lung Force, which is it's for women to come together and bring awareness. So the third week in May is Lung Force Week, and everything is turquoise. We have stores,
Yes.
bridges, putting in turquoise lights. Because when you know better, you'll do better. And the more we
Yes.
know about lung cancer, the less afraid we'll be.
Definitely.
And on November 20th, it's the Great American Smokeout. So I have a quit line card for anybody who wants to quit smoking. It's a great day to try. And always keep trying.
Yes. Yeah, I want to ask you the ways of stopping smoking. Because what you said, once you start, it's very difficult
Absolutely.
to stop. So there's cold turkey is a way to stop. Some people are able to just say, stop smoking. And they stop.
That's right.
Right then, cold turkey. And there's also the patch.
The lozenges, gum, Wellbutrin, which is an antidepressant, and a lot of
really?
smokers who stop smoking are very depressed.
Yes.
And then there's Chantix, which is another new drug. There's hypnotism.
Yes.
And the thing with tobacco is you have to want to quit. Because people say, I tried to
Yes.
quit, but it didn't last. When I finally decided that I was getting way too old to be smoking cigarettes,
Right.
and in this day and age, it's way too expensive.
Yes.
Whatever way you decide to quit smoking, it works best.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like any other addiction. But we have to understand addiction. And instead of blaming a smoker, we need to start blaming the tobacco companies for producing a product, a legal product, that when taken as directed can kill you.
Yes. How don't you think people are responsible for their own behavior?
Yes, we are, but we all have weaknesses. I mean, when I was in high school, that's when I started smoking. That was my security. I went to a Catholic school, now I'm in a public school, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Right.
So that was my security. Some people do drugs, some people overeat. Everybody has their own form. And we do have, we can say yes or no, but when we say yes, the tobacco companies make sure there's plenty of products out there to keep us
Yes.
going. Yeah.
So I guess legally, they have the right, free speech, to do that, but they're not our friend.
No.
Definitely not.
Listen, the new electronic cigarette
Yes.
is a nicotine device. Many of the electronic cigarettes are owned by the tobacco companies. So there's two red flags. Nicotine is addiction, and the second one is the tobacco companies own them. So you just
Yes.
have to figure, they can't be good for you,
Right.
all right? And there hasn't been enough testing to find out how they're going to work. And what I've found with people with e-cigarettes, it has given them the right, so they think, to smoke anywhere they want.
Yes.
So we have to also now get new legislation. Clean Indoor Air Act has to include the e-cigarette.
Yes. So I'm wondering, the e-cigarettes, you can't get secondhand e-smoke,
No, you just get the vapor.
right? Which doesn't cause cancer.
We don't know anything yet. We don't know
yes,
enough.
of course.
Okay, and
That
that's
makes sense.
yeah.
Right.
It's like when cigarettes first came out. We didn't know, and look
Sure.
what happened.
Exactly.
50 years later, we're still telling people that cigarettes can kill you. And
Yes.
50 years later, we're still getting new smokers.
That's right. As far as the e-cigarettes, you you're really against them
Yes.
as well, because
I'm again because we don't know enough about them. And
yes,
and some people say they're using them to quit smoking,
right,
but in fact a lot of them are smoking more now because you can smoke it anywhere you are. If you're in a restaurant,
right,
if you're in the library, you can do it anywhere.
yes.
So they're smoking more.
So you think there should be a ban or
Well,
what is it? Moratorium?
I think
on
that
it?
the FDA has to do more investigating so
And
that the
until
public,
then,
yeah.
they should.
Well, it's free business, it's free speech, it's free everything.
Yes.
But once we know the facts, I just hate for people to get so addicted to something and then when the facts come out that this is very harmful,
Yes,
they're already hooked,
that's right.
you know. And I've also noticed now with the tobacco in the poorer areas, that's where you see the most tobacco. You walk into a store, it's wall-to-wall tobacco. The tobacco companies are they're targeting our youth and they're targeting poor communities.
Wow.
So I just don't think they're nice people.
Yes. Yeah. You, Denise, do you or did you belong to, say, quit smoking group?
No, I tried the patch, I tried the gum, I tried hypnotism, I tried acupuncture, and then I tried Wellbutrin, and Wellbutrin just worked for me. My friend, I suggested it to her, she did it, and she hasn't smoked either.
Awesome.
You have to find what works for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So would you say that there are groups out there that do assist?
Absolutely.
Like,
if you go on the Lung Force website, lungforce.org,
yes.
they have tips on quitting. They give you all this information. We have the quit line. You can call the quit line.
Yes.
They give you information. We have Put It Out Rockland over at the Rockland County Department of Health.
Oh, really?
They have programs. And there
Yes.
used to be a 12-step.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there
Wow.
still is, but it certainly it really helps if you have support from other people
Oh, definitely.
when you're trying to quit anything. Yeah.
Exactly. I think you mentioned some myths about cancer.
Well, lung
And-
cancer, everyone thinks that if you have lung cancer, you're going to die.
Yes.
And that's not true. Because early detection, if you go to the doctor, and I went to the doctor because I had a pain and I had a bit of shortness of breath. And within no time, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. And people that smoke are embarrassed sometimes to go to the doctor.
Yes.
All right. My experience with lung cancer, I didn't have one nurse or one doctor ever say, well, you smoked, what did you expect? I had nothing but compassion. Actually, they were trying to convince me that maybe it wasn't tobacco.
Oh.
All right. But I did find when anyone in the streets saw my children or myself and they heard I had lung cancer, the first thing they said is, do you smoke?
Oh.
And that's really not a very nice thing for a lung cancer patient to hear. They
Oh,
want some
yeah.
compassion.
Exactly.
That's the first thing you want to know when you know someone is sick.
Right.
So we have to lift the stigma on
Yeah.
tobacco.
Most definitely. And what would you say are some facts about smoking?
About smoking, other than the fact that it's completely addictive. I mean, it's like anything. Some people take a drink and they think it tastes disgusting, but they continue to drink.
Right.
People take a cigarette, they cough. Some people throw the cigarette away. Other people continue. It's about your insides, your addiction, your weakness.
Yes.
Right. And nicotine is an addiction. And the more chemicals they put in it, the more you're going to get sick. I feel bad for our youth because our youth and the poor are being targeted all the time.
Yes.
And they have no, when you're a teenager and you're feeling a little insecure, and your friends start smoking, then you start smoking.
Right.
So we have to work towards protecting our youth
Yes.
and protecting the poor and the challenged. They're also being targeted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess cigarettes. Don't yell at me, but
You know me well.
aren't they? It's like an escape. People smoke.
Absolutely.
Stress, and
But you know what? When you take a
Homeless,
drag on a
right?
cigarette, everyone goes, "Oh, it makes me feel so much calmer."
Yes.
Your heart is racing.
right.
If we would, instead of dragging on a cigarette, take a deep breath,
Yes.
you would get results.
right.
But we're so, we are addictive people.
It's like
we
an
just-
easy fix.
It is, and there are no easy fixes.
Yes. You have to do the work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's like with any addiction, you have to find out what the problem. Why did you start this addiction? It's like the
Yes.
12 steps in AA and drugs. Maybe a 13, 14 steps so they can deal with their problem.
Right.
What made them start drinking? What made them start doing drugs? What makes people start smoking? You have to
Yeah.
look at, cover those
That's-
areas.
That's good information. Very important. Yeah, so Denise, like you said, November is the smoke out. American,
Yes, November 20th is the Great American Smokeout.
and what's going to happen?
Well, this is when you ask everybody to try not to smoke for one day.
Yes.
And a lot of people, when they don't smoke for one day, fine, well, let me try the next day and the
Yes.
next. And there's just so much support, like I said, with Lung Force, with the Quit Line, with the Put It Out Rock. There's a lot of support out there for people who want to quit smoking. And you just have to know about it.
Do you know, do you know of any maybe local or national, like, gatherings for this smoke out?
For the smokeout, well, we're doing a lot of media. They'll be on the radio a lot. We're doing this tonight.
Yes.
And it's a lot of youth, the youth reality check. We're trying to pull them together to do events. We do a lot of events at the Palisades. This year we're not, because we have a different grant and we're working differently.
I see.
But as far as I know, in Rockland County, there isn't, so far, there hasn't been anything. But November 20th, everybody put your cigarettes down and try just for one day. Because, once you do stop smoking, it's amazing how much better you feel. It really
Yes.
is.
And how about the schools? Are they doing a good job at?
The schools are
Anti-smoking.
amazing at educating. My grandchildren, when they were in the middle school, were giving me tobacco facts that I was teaching to people. And they're getting a lot of information at the school.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, the schools are definitely doing a good job.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And how about the internet or TV? Are they doing?
Well, we have those
Maybe.
horrible commercials where they show, people
Yes.
choking and
Yes.
right. We have
Exactly.
those. As far as the internet, like I'm not really that savvy. I know the youth are,
Yes.
but the youth that I know are not interested in tobacco. They're just, they feel it's wrong. But there are you walk down any main street in Rockland County and you see a group of
Yes.
kids smoking cigarettes. Somebody's smoking.
That's right.
Someone's paying $10, $11 for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering, what do you think about medical marijuana or even medical marijuana?
Medical marijuana.
Or just
If
pot?
marijuana, I'm anti-drug, so
Yes.
I don't like anything that's going to alter you. I
Yes.
think you should deal with life. And I do think that marijuana, I think it
Yes.
alters the way you behave, you know.
To be devil's advocate, coffee alters the mind.
Yeah,
Even food.
everything,
Yes.
you know. But marijuana, I'm not ready.
Right.
I'm
But
not ready.
medical marijuana, I mean, that they say could be used properly.
If it's used properly.
Yes.
Someone asked me when I was talking about smoke-free parks, well, what if, someone is smoking it, medical marijuana? And I was like, in the park? No. If you're smoking medical marijuana, it's usually because you're home and not feeling well. And if it works for people that are ill, yes. But then when you find people are just making excuse, I have anxiety, and they get a prescription for medical marijuana.
Yes.
It's like anything. We all try to get around the system,
Sure.
you know.
So it can be abused.
Absolutely.
And
We're an abusive society,
yeah, exactly.
you know.
In many areas.
More is never enough
Yes.
in our society.
Most definitely. So at this point in your life, you say you do have a handle on smoking.
Oh, I wouldn't smoke. I mean, I had stopped smoking before lung cancer
Yes.
because I didn't want my grandchildren to. I didn't want them to see their grandmother, getting
Yes.
smoking cigarettes. Plus, I wouldn't smoke, that's when I stopped, when my grandson was born,
Good reason.
And I don't have any desire, certainly have absolutely no desire once I got sick.
That's a
Yeah.
great thing. Good for
Yeah.
you. And as far as why people are still smoking, besides being addicted, ones, they want to be cool. Yeah, they want to fit in.
Yeah, which is, like when I went to school a zillion years ago, it was cool, but it's not cool anymore. I don't understand the information that's out there. But I will say, when you're young, you don't think you'll ever get sick.
Yes.
Okay, you go,
That's
I'm
right.
young, I'm not going to get cancer.
Right.
So I understand the youth aspect. They just think they're infallible. Nothing's going to hurt them.
Sure.
Yeah. And if your family smokes, you're surrounded by it,
Exactly.
you know.
You're a product of your
Environment.
and family.
That's right.
Like as far as we had a show about abuse, physical abuse, that's passed
Absolutely.
on
It is.
down the
Down the
down the
family
fam-
line.
yeah,
It's like mental
exactly.
abuse.
verbal.
Yes,
Yes.
that can be just as cruel.
Yes. And then, of course, well, like we said, you don't have to smoke to be a cancer victim.
No.
Like Dana Reeve.
I know. Well,
Yes.
78 people die every day in the United States of lung cancer who never smoked.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah. And
Say
that's
that number again.
78 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people who never smoked.
Yes.
That's why I said lung cancer does not discriminate. If you have lungs, you can get lung cancer.
Yes.
So it's helpful to lift the stigma. This way more people will go and get early detection, go to the doctor when they're not feeling well, and a lot more lives can be saved. You don't have to die from lung cancer.
Yes. Do you have any websites or websites or phone numbers you could share?
Well, I said lungforce.org gives you all the information about lung cancer, how to quit smoking. It's part of the American Lung Association's website.
Yes.
And then we have the quit line, and I'll get the card. It's in my pocket, I believe.
Oh, so you're going to walk off camera a minute. So look at me for a minute.
Just watch this handsome gentleman. for a
Oh,
minute.
yes. Who doesn't smoke? I don't smoke. But I have smoked.
You have smoked.
I have.
Did you like it?
Actually, cigarettes always made me feel ill.
Yeah.
Ill to my stomach.
Well, and that's a good thing.
It was.
See, alcohol always made me feel ill.
Oh,
That's a good thing.
yes.
Here we are, New York.
Yes, maybe you could read it. Read it.
Now you're really pushing things. I don't have my
Oh,
glasses on.
No. Thinking about quitting? New York State Smokers Quit Line. You know the number by heart?
Nope.
1-866-NY quits. NYQUITS.
Yes, someone will be there. They'll walk you through, give you advice on how to quit. They'll possibly even set you up with the patch, the free patch, if you qualify.
Yes.
There is help, but go to the lungforce.org. That's part of the American Lung Association. It gives you ways to quit. It tells you all about lung cancer, and then of course the quit line, New York's quit line.
Yes. Is that your job's phone number or email?
No, my email. I can give you my email, and anyone that has any questions about smoking or the Great American Smokeout or lung cancer, you can email me.
That would be great.
It's dhogan, HOGAN, at lung, LUNGNE.org.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
And your website, you said, could you say it again?
It's LungForce, LUNGFORCE.org, and also PowerAgainstTobacco.org. That's where I work. The American Lung Association is our fiscal agent. I work for Power Against Tobacco.
And where is this?
Our office is in Westchester and White Plains, and I've been there for several years. It's an amazing organization, and we've changed a lot of things. Smoke-free parks, smoke-free,
Oh, excellent.
yeah.
So I gather they don't have a smoking room, right?
No smoking.
No.
No smoking allowed.
No one there smokes.
No, but imagine, do you remember when you'd go to the doctor?
Yes.
And the doctor had his cigarettes in his,
Oh.
yeah, and there was ashtrays. I mean,
Right.
we've come a long way.
Movie theaters,
Absolutely.
buses.
You could smoke everywhere, and now now you can only smoke on Main Street, Nyack.
Yeah. So in our last 2 minutes, maybe you could, or would you, tell us how do people view smoking today?
It's not the norm anymore. It's rare. I mean, when you go to a park, and most of our parks in Rockland County are
Yes.
smoke-free. Excellent. But when you see someone smoking, it's just not the norm anymore,
Yes.
because it's not normal behavior. Like I said, when we know better, we do better. And now that we know how damaging tobacco is and how financially draining it is, not only to the person, but to our economy, what it costs.
Yes.
We're just getting better at it.
Yes. And as far as smoking and TV or the movies, have they cut back
We're cutting
on
back,
that?
yes.
Showing people smoking in TV.
Well, like Mad Men,
movies.
that was the era.
Yes.
But now for a movie or a TV show to depict smoking in this, it's not being done anymore.
That's right.
Yeah, and we're also working with movies to try to remove it from PG movies. There's no reason.
Yes,
You know.
exactly.
My grandson said many, many years ago that Santa Claus smoked because Santa Claus has the pipe.
Oh, yeah.
So people have to understand how aware children are, and that's why the tobacco companies do everything they can to make smoking look so attractive.
Exactly. And I guess parents today are more aware of
Absolutely.
what they're teaching their kids.
Yes,
I think so.
absolutely. And I mean, the majority of parents don't smoke,
Yes.
so that's a good thing, because what you do see in the home, you do happen to carry out into society.
And magazines, do they?
You know, you can order magazines without tobacco advertising.
Oh, really?
Like, Sports Illustrated, it's not my number one magazine, but you
Yes.
can order that without.
Oh, really?
Libraries and schools, any magazines they get, they usually have the tobacco advertising out.
So, I guess we could say smoking is not cool.
It's not cool to smoke.
No. Not cool. Well, Denise Hogan,
Yes, it was so
Thank you.
nice, Dan. Thank you.
thanks for joining me.
Yes, it was so
on
nice to see
Dialogues
you.
with Dan. Great to see
You too. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm on
Yes.
the park bench.
Well, bye everyone. Have a great week. Don't smoke. Peace.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.